Hello there. Thank you for stopping in. Today we are talking about communication, specifically in our relationships, in our love, romantic relationships. Can definitely be for family too, all relationships. But this is more about, are you and your partner on the same page with your communication, okay? And there are two sides to this, right? There's the communicator, there's the receiver. There's the receiver, the communicator, right? We're always switching back and forth. So doing this video, my hope is that I can help you start to pay more attention about yourself, about your partner, about what you might not be comfortable with. Communication is a big one. So in thinking about your own communication, okay, do you feel like you and your partner connect well? Do you feel comfortable to be able to speak your truth or to say things when they're uncomfortable? Or is it more like you have certain subjects you can talk about, but then certain subjects are taboo and you know energetically that they're not really comfortable for your partner, so we stay away from those. However, it frustrates you, okay? And this is a big one because, look, you can only keep a lid on a pot of boiling hot water for so long, and then it's gonna come off. So this is why it's important. It's important for us to be able to feel free, right? And to be able to talk about anything and to understand that, you know, if I have a problem when my partner brings up something I'm not comfortable with, it's on me to investigate why that is, right? On the other side, it's the same. If there's something I want to talk about and I know that my partner is resistant to it, equally as important is for them to start, hopefully, being able to be more self-responsible and not feel as, intimidated or insecure to be able to have the conversation. And, communication happens a lot better when we feel a level of trust in our relationships, when we feel that we can be vulnerable, right? Because, look, you can be vulnerable if you trust someone. If you don't trust someone, you're not going to be able to be as vulnerable. Part of that's on us, taking a chance to begin that for ourselves. But then the other side of it is, our partner and our experience. How long have we been with this partner? How well do we know this partner? And we could be with this partner for years and something in life might show you who they are differently than what you thought. But communication is a place where no matter what's going on in our lives, no matter, if things are good or things aren't good, if we can communicate in a respectful, compassionate, come from a compassionate place, a loving place, we can always get back to that place without pointing fingers and blaming and throwing hard judgments on the other person. Because the truth is, we're both learning. We're always learning in our relationships. It doesn't stop. And the more we grow together, the more learning we're going to have. I think most people feel that they're going to get to a point where they can just sit back, put their feet up, and they don't have to, what we might call work. Meaning, they just want to be comfortable and they don't want to be uncomfortable. But what happens is, the more you resist being uncomfortable, the more uncomfortable it's going to get for you, right? So, sometimes we're comfortable and sometimes we're not, but this is all for growth. And that's what relationship is all about. It's really not the fantasy. It's learning about ourselves and working with somebody else. We're working in cooperation. So getting back to communication. Do you feel heard? Do you feel safe when you speak? Do you feel judged? Or do you judge, right? This goes the other way too. So are you able to hold space for your partner when they're speaking? Are you able to allow them the space to feel safe when they're talking to you? And when we switch roles, we go into those roles. So your job, right? If you're the communicator, is you're gonna speak, right? But when you're done, now we're holding space in a loving, compassionate way, right? And sometimes it's really difficult, but we're holding space for our partner to be able to express themselves. And this is such a big part of relationship. If you guys can be good communicators and you can allow each other the space to be free and to say things, and, instead of, getting upset and getting reactive, shouldn't say upset, we might be upset, right? But it's more about responding, stepping into our more mature selves. Because look, things come up, they're gonna come up. That's the way it is, that's life, right? But it has everything to do with how we handle it when it comes up. I was just talking to a couple last evening, and I said to them, look, the important thing is that we understand that life is going to continue to be life. So that stretches us. When things come up, we both have an opportunity to be our better self. And the more issues, right, the more things that provoke us gives us more opportunity if we can step into that place. I think there's an alarm bell that goes off for many couples, like, oh no, now there's an issue. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it. But you know what? Let's get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because think about it, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if you could, you had an issue with your partner. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get it out. It may be tense, but you know what? You love each other even more when you leave it, because you allowed each other to have a platform to speak and to love them. You might not like what they're saying, but you love them. So not everything is hinging on every word that the other partner is saying. This takes practice, okay? But I am just saying, you know what? Get comfortable with things that are going to make you uncomfortable, because this is life. And communication is such a big part of that. If you can keep your judgments, right, and try to just love your partner rather than judging them, because they're doing the best that they're able to do, and so are you. You want to offer value when your partner is speaking. You want your partner to feel the way you would like to feel when you speak and your partner is being that active holding of space, or just allowing you to talk. It's important. So I want you to keep in mind that when something comes up and you start to resist it, catch yourself. Ask yourself, how do I act in arguments, right? How do I act? How do I speak when my partner asks me something that I'm uncomfortable with? These are important questions to ask, because it's really easy to look at the other person. And oftentimes that's exactly where we go, right? Because we're blaming. But truth is check yourself. Check yourself first, and make sure that you are being the loving, compassionate, supportive partner that your partner deserves. And because honestly, we can get through it. It's just nice to know that, when arguments come up, we don't get all freaky and worry that this is the end of the relationship. Get used to it. It's not the end of the relationship. Here's the opportunity. The more we can work through things, the stronger our team gets, right? And the stronger our team gets, usually people want to hang around, they want to spend time together, they enjoy each other, but we also have to allow our partner the space to feel the way that they do, instead of trying to prove to them or get them to join our side. If we can step into the energy of realizing that it's wonderful if we can see things differently, and it's wonderful for our children if we can see things differently. We get to show our kids how we work through things, even if we don't look at it the same way. That's really important, because that, for kids, for everybody in life, that's a big part of what goes on in our world, right? How do we get through when we don't see everything the same way? And I look at it as though it makes us more powerful together. And I value the way that other people look at things. If I have a problem that they're not seeing it my way, that's on me, right? That's a question for myself. So you guys check in with your communication. Become the communicator that you would like to experience. And also, when you're on the receiving end, right, when you're holding space, be a good space holder for your partner, okay? Go inside, give them the support, throw them the supportive energy vibes, and hold good space for your partner, okay? Okay, guys, so I hope that this was helpful for you. If you liked the video, you feel like it's helpful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.